But listen to this. Wait for it. What is going on, legends? Today's gameplay is going to be a little bit different. Today, we are jumping straight on into Chapter 2, Season 7, and we're going to show you not only how I got my first win, but we're going to break this one down and show you the decisions that I made that were good decisions, the bad decisions, and help you maybe even get your first win, or at least continue that amazing streak that you're probably on. Let's be real here. You guys, you're pretty good at what you do, but in this video, you're going to find a few little tips and tricks, some really beginner intro stuff. If you're struggling in this game and you want to crank it up a level, we're going to show you that, but we're also going to have a few little moments that show you when the right decision making can get you that dub. We do get the Vic Roy, we do get a double digital in game, and it is a good one. So first off, I recommend when a new season starts, go to a drop spot that you already know. You would have seen a moment ago the map was up on the screen and there were different locations, new POIs, but here's the thing. Every kid is going to jump on in and go straight to one of those new POIs, but you don't know if there are NPCs. You don't know what is going on in that location. So by dropping somewhere that you already know, it means that you know exactly where the chest spawns are and exactly what your opening loot route is. So here, this area, previously known as Sweaty Sands, was one of my go-to spots, now called Believer Beach, but from the air itself, I could see the floor plan looks pretty much the same. I normally land in this building, so I know what I'm doing. So as you see me land on that roof, I'm going the most direct route to every single chest. As soon as I drop, I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm moving straight there, making sure that I'm going to have an advantage over other players who are too mesmerized with the new pretty shiny things. At this point, I've got 3 big pots. I always make sure that I get all of the chests open and all of the floor loot before I start popping any shield, just to see what it is that I'm working with, unless I hear footsteps. At this point, I know there's no chest that spawned down here, so I'm going to just grab any mats that I can, because honestly, I can't stress this enough. Early game mats is a game changer. If you don't want to spend half your life sitting in the loading screen or in the lobby or on that dreaded battle bus, get those early game mats. It's more important than shield. It's more important than your weaponry, because if someone pushes you, you can dip. Now, at this point, instead of just talking to the NPC, I make sure that I put walls around me. I'm a bit rusty at this point. It's the first game of the day or so, and so obviously my build went a little bit too far out, but you know, we'll start warming up and getting there. Also, talking to that NPC didn't really do much right there. I went over for that because I thought I could have got some nuts and bolts from it, from seeing the new season. I know that it is a key feature. Unfortunately, was not the case. But at this point, what I'm doing is I'm using my audio cues. So rather than going, okay, what can I find? Because I know this area, again, coming back to that point 1, because I know the area, I know the audio cues, I know where the chest should be, so I'm going underneath to find them. I'm gonna pause right there, because this is the first mistake that I have made. So when I stopped to pop those shields, I rearranged my weaponry. However, in this game, you never want to look at that bottom bar. See where it says your weapons and your, you know, all that stuff? You don't want to look there in a fight. You want muscle memory. You need to know that this finger is going to go to that weapon, this finger is going to go to that weapon, and where to reach. If you're on mouse and keyboard, even if you're on controller, you need to cycle quickly. Now here, I put that SMG in the wrong spot. My loadout is number 3 is my shotgun, number 4 is my AR. That's what I was expecting. So as soon as this person was there, I pull out what I thought was going to be my AR. Instead, I'm doing some really weak 10 tags. You'll see me fix it in a moment, and then you'll see me readjust my loadout almost straight away, because I do not want that happening again. This play is weak. They're trying to get indoors. Lands my final tag, and it's done. The other thing that I did just then is I had a look from here itself at that player's loadout. They didn't have any heals on them. Like, they didn't have any shield. They were white to start with. So I knew that there was no minis or big shields on them, meaning unless I'm seeing purple or gold, I don't need to push that loot. It's not worth it. I hear a chest. I think, let's go there, see if we can get maybe a few more minis, another big pot or so. But now that I've got what I need, I'm like, all right, let's go see what they did have. You just never know. Maybe they had minis and they didn't get a chance to pop them. Nothing over here. So quickly going to grab some floor loot, or we'll farm up a little bit, just to constantly make sure I've got mats, because you just don't know if there is another little sweaty scar just around the corner and you're going to have to throw hands. But right now I hear another chest. Going to go ahead and loot that. There's a shotgun. I decide, you know what? I'm feeling the pump right now. Never mind. Quick change of plan. And that is so important. Know your play style. If you're good with a pump, use a pump. If you're good with attack, use attack. Everyone's going to have a different opinion as to what the best shotgun is. Even lever actions are now in the game, but honestly, go with what works for you. You'll see me use a few different weapons throughout this match, but watch this. Now, right here, I don't know if you caught that or not, but right there, as we were running, there was the sound of a door closing. It was only really, really faint. But what I did is I was leaving that building. So as I was leaving one building, I saw the next building already had a door open, meaning someone's been there. I thought it's probably the player that I just eliminated. He looted that house. Now he's in this one. But there is a chance that there's a different player in that building. But either way, I wasn't going to check the building. I was like, nah, it's okay. There's probably no loot in there. I was heading towards the gas station to go and get myself a car. But in that process, I heard one single door close, and all of a sudden my first reaction was to turn and ramp. So now I'm going up onto this building because I now have heard there is a player somewhere nearby. He's opened a door, but he also isn't pushing me, meaning he's either weak or he's not confident or he's just trying to get away. And you're about to find out which one of those options it actually was. Running up on the building, and there he is. He's going for the run, and there it is. He was literally one tap. He was waiting for me to leave. He thought I had run past the building. That's when he opened the door. He tried to leave. I got a bead hair in my mouth. My bad. Hey, no outtakes on this one. Now, here's the other thing in Fortnite. Make sure you've got a driver's license. I can't drive in this game. I can win some fights. I can crank every now and then, but you put me in one of those vehicles, it's just not going to work out. Hey, another thing for this season, the rarity of your weapon is now more important than the type of weapon. And what I mean by that is I would rather go with a purple heavy AR. I don't like the heavy AR as much, but I'd rather a purple heavy AR than going with a blue weaker AR or sorry, other AR or a green other AR. And here's a perfect example. There's a green AR right there. Never mind, that's a heavy. But that's that. And the reason why is because now you can essentially side grade using the nuts and bolts. So even though you might be like, oh, this isn't really the one for me, prioritize rarity. Now, at this point, I'm going to just pause it. At this point, I hear that there's a chest above me. Impulse says, go for that chest. But look at my loadout. I've got plenty of heals. I've got a decent weaponry loadout. I'm feeling pretty confident with the mat, and I've got 100 as my HP. I hear shots going off, and I think this is an opportunity for a third party. They don't even know that I'm here because they're fighting each other. Let's see if I can add another one or two to my elim count. Gonna floor ramp wall. See this player. Headshot. Accuracy is a beautiful thing, and that player has now left the lobby. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm jumping and looking around is because that player was shooting at someone else, and that's where that other player was. So I knew that there was going to be two of them. I just didn't know where, but by jumping up and down, it means that hopefully that other player will shoot at me, but because I'm jumping, it's harder for them to actually hit me. So I'm still moving, but I'm also, you know, around and luring out that extra opponent. Check the final chest, and now I'm like, okay, pretty happy with this. Got the Lambo, but anytime there's a garage, again, this comes down to knowing your loot spot. There's always going to be a set of tires. Why take a Lambo when you can take a four-wheel drive Lambo? Let's go. Hop in that thing. Now, I got lucky with zone, so because of that, I'm going to go check both of these loot piles. Normally, I wouldn't, because those players were playing pretty average. I'm thinking it's probably AI or something, or either way, it just didn't look great for them, so I wouldn't bother. But because zone is right here, I figured I might as well. And if you are trying to get your first win, maybe, then checking loot is really important, because you just don't know if they happen to be someone that maybe isn't so great at fighting, but they are definitely built for the farm. You know what I mean? They're just farming up mats for days. And if so, you might as well pick that one up. Here, I know that these crash pads are going to make my car move a little bit faster. Use it to get me back on the road again. Cars and driving, as you can see, it's not my strong suit, fam, but that's okay, because we'll make up for it in this gameplay. And now we're going to just wrap around, because again, I want to know that I've cleared this place out, and I don't actually know if I have or not. Payphones are here. You can use that for upgrades, but listen to this. Wait for it. Never mind. See, I'm just teaching you. I'm just teaching you right now to pay attention to your surroundings. I think in the gameplay before this, right when I was there, I heard another car in the distance, and I preemptively boxed up and peeked. But this game, on the other hand, I was a whole lot more lucky than that because we landed on the double llama strat. And apparently, if you hit the llama with your car, or if the llama runs into your car, it stuns itself and stops moving. I didn't realize how much damage these things can take because obviously moving llamas are new, but headshots do a lot more. So definitely aim for the head. It's pretty easy to hit as well. As you can see, those yellow tags are the headshots. But another thing that you might not have known about the llamas, which I'm about to show you here, they drop minis, they drop big pots, they drop so much ammo and mats, like insane amounts, as you can see right there. But here's the thing. If you don't get them in time, this will happen. Keep your eye over at that build. See that rainbow that just went off? That was the second llama. So I got one of the llamas, but the second one hopped around, and because I didn't get to it quick enough, it literally teleports on that rainbow road straight on out of there, meaning that llama is now gone from the game. Now, in this scenario, I decide to do something a little bit different. I decide that I'm going to overstack heals. And in the end, that ends up being a really good decision because I get into a good few engagements and I'm going to need some heals later. And I figured I'd rather have more heals than I need than not have enough when I need it. So right now, I've got 6 minis and 6 big pots. Most of the time, you're never going to have that many heals in your loadout. But when you find a double llama like that, you might as well, seize the day and go in for that opportunity. So at this point, I've marked where the next zone is on the map, and I'm just going to start rotating in. I've already got 4 limbs. I'm pretty happy with this. And at this point as well, because I knew I was recording, I knew I just got a double llama. I would love to get the dub on this game, chuck this bad boy on YouTube. So I want to play a little bit more conservatively, but I also want to make sure it's a good game. So I hear shots going off. And at this point, I think, you know what? Rather than driving my car into there, I'm going to get up on the top of this spire and use the inbuilt mobility into the game. This game has so many spots, rivers that you can swim down, spire points that you can dive off. And now with launch pads back in the game, mobility, there's a lot of it, but it's all different because of how loud or how not loud it is. This is going to be a whole lot quieter than being in that Lambo. And I know that. So I decide, all right, I'm going to go in for a bit more of a quiet strat. And here I see the player. Wish I had a snipe in hand, but I don't. Go for a few pop shots anyway. Doesn't work out. And then all of a sudden he tags me up. And I think, okay, in this scenario, normally I wouldn't waste a big pot and I would probably go for a full box. However, here I'm pretty confident there's no one near me and I've got 6 big pots, so I might as well. This guy landed that shot, so I'm thinking he might be a bit sweaty. And I was right because he starts pushing me pretty hard here. Now, old PastorSKAR would have choked right there. That would have been the end of the game because I'm building pretty sloppy. Again, I'm not really warmed up, but instead I go, I need to just hold my piece control. I need to get my edits right. And that's exactly what I do. Exactly here. He's now in my box. He was right there, but he did manage to get away. Now I know that he's up there. I go for the jump shot, tag him for 68, and I close up the roof underneath, meaning he now didn't get the tag, but I did. I can hear that he's trying to shield right now. So I'm going to pressure, but here's the problem. We are now getting third-partied. I don't know if you can see that, but there is another player here, and you're about to see the fear of the spaceships. I'm getting tagged from the side from another player. I get this guy super weak, and just like that, the spaceship actually drops him. I could have potentially had that a limb, had him down to whites, but nonetheless, I'm going to drop. I really want this a limb, but at the same time, it's better to miss out on a limb and stay alive. So that's exactly what I go for here. I can see that I've been marked by the recon thing, so I don't want to give up height. Also looking for this other player, but I know I need to heal. So I'm just going to box up right now. I don't know if all these builds are mine or not. So I tried to cone and I made a little mistake. I put an edit on my floor piece instead of my cone. And because of that, I fell down. I see this guy. I thought maybe I'll just close out the fight. Trying for it here. This is a bit of a risk on my part, but I know he's preoccupied by the spaceship. So I go for it. I get that purple tack off him, but now the spaceship is focusing me, which proves to be a little bit of an issue right here. Once again, I'm not wasting any minis. I know I've got 2 big pots, and if I can use them both, I can free up 1 spot in my inventory. So I'm going to do exactly that, meaning I'll still have max minis and bigs at this point. Now this spaceship is not giving up. So I know you can't destroy a bridge. I'm just going to go underneath it and hold this spot. Someone that's looking for me is probably not going to check here. And I was right. The player never comes to check. I end up blocking that just in case, but he doesn't know where I am. The spaceship is still shooting. There's another player above. It breaks the build, but I know it cannot damage me from here unless he gets the cheekiest angle, and I'm betting that he won't. So I go in, make sure that all my weapons are reloaded. I know that there's 14 players left in this game, And I also know that my mats are running pretty low as far as hard mats. So I'm going back here for the player that I eliminated. Apparently the guy that came up top actually took those mats. So the metal, the brick that would have been there, it's already gone. Caleb, you buy, you snooze, you lose. But I learned something when I started playing this season, which is spaceships are really annoying, as you can see. So I'm going to take this opportunity to make sure that when I get to final zone, there are no spaceships left. And this one is now already destroyed, meaning it is going to crash land. And check out this mistake. That player jumps out. Yeah, if he just stayed in, he wouldn't have taken any damage. But because he jumps out, he took 4 damage. And because I need mats, I'm going in for the refresh. You see that? I'm coming in now. I obviously want to heal up, reload, just do a little bit of a inventory here. But I'm just going to box up to make sure I do it. Nice and safe. Trying to see, at this point, I didn't know if I could craft into a SKAR or not. I couldn't in the end, and I decided to go with the tac shotgun over the lever action. So no crafting was done, but I did remember that there was a med kit, bandages back here. I knew there was some form of white heals. Again, I now know that there's no one around me. I pop one, and then I think, why am I risking this? This gameplay is too good. We've already got 6 limbs. Let's keep this thing going. Pop that final bandage. Making sure that I've got the maximum I can get, especially because I'm not planning on stacking any white heals. And we are good. 175 HP. I've now got my sniper, which I'm very comfortable with. I've got my tac shotgun. The AR is ready to rock and roll as well. Now it's about to be finding our next player. And there he is. Shots fired. Instantly build and instantly go for height. Now, all of a sudden, I see that he's going for height as well, which tells me he's not an AI. This is a real player. But then he just bails. A little confused at this point, but I go, okay, you know what? He's going to try and bail. I'll see if I can find him. I got to rotate anyway, so let's see what we can find. But then I hear a shot over to this side, and it's time to get on in. These players are in the middle of a fight. I reckon I can third party. They're probably weak. Waiting for this guy to peek me, but he doesn't, so I decide to shoot him down. He's going to fall. Now I'm taking a bit of storm damage, and I don't have white heals, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm a launch pad, and since that one just got shot out, I'm going to wrap behind here. So this player is now in a really awkward situation. Let's pause it right there. The player in that ship now has one player towards the storm shooting at him. That's the player that shot him down. Because I landed on the other side, it means he's either going to have to focus that way or this way. Either way, he's going to fall. And I've got the advantage because the other player has to rotate in from zone. So realistically, I should be able to get 2 limbs here. But at the very, very least, I should be able to stay alive. So let's see what we can do here. Spot him there. My snipe actually gets blocked by the spaceship, but either way, I follow it up. That was a TTV. Feels bad. K, love you, bye. And now, once again, because of my mat situation, I decide I'm going to just move in, grab what I can. I see a gold SKAR as well. No one there was there to peek, but at this point, I know that there's still one rotating in, and there he is. He's in the water. Go for the snipe. I missed that one as well, unfortunately. This is what I'm saying. I'm using this gameplay because I made some good decisions and some bad. And right here, I actually made a bad move. I took an angel. Thankfully, I won the angel, but I took an angel and I shouldn't have. Knowing that I already had 7 limbs, there's only 6 players left. I got the double llama. This is a good gameplay. Really? I should have maybe just cranked for height, held height, and ran it. But instead, what I did is I said, I trust my shot. I'm going for this angel. I did win the angel, but that was a risk and I took a bit of unnecessary damage. Thankfully, I always pay attention to what loot is around me, and I remembered there is a med kit nearby. We're going for it. We're just going to grab that. This time I'm not going to bother going all the way out. I'm just going to box up right here, pop the med kit, and then we're going to start rotating in. And at this point, right after the med kit, something pretty awkward happens. And in life, sometimes things are going to happen. You're going to be in the game. You're going to be in tournament mode, and your mum's going to come in and start talking to you. Your phone's going to start ringing, whatever it is. And sometimes you just got to manage that. So here, my headset battery actually died. Like, it stopped working on me in the middle of this gameplay. So all I've done is I've boxed up, I've popped a cone, I've edited myself in. So there's a few layers. I'm not just in the open, and I'm currently literally scrambling, trying to replace the battery in my headset. I'll take a little bit of storm damage here, but I was very intentional to keep my eye on the screen. As soon as that storm tagged me, I'm running, and all of a sudden you'll see me run a little awkwardly here. And right here, I've now turned on auto run. So auto run is just making me run while my hands are not holding the mouse or keyboard, and I'm literally fixing up the battery. At this point, I'm back on. Just start warming up my fingers again to see this player. I'm not going to give away my position just yet, but I definitely want to go for this snipe. Goes for it right in between the legs. That one was rough. But once again, cranking for height, floor, ramp, wall. Holding height is so important. You want to win games, get high ground and hold your high ground. So here, I know he owns most of these builds, so I'm just going to go up one layer. I know he could shoot me down, and then all of a sudden he just leaves. I say, all right, let's try and get a couple of tags here. I do manage to get one. I think that's it, though. But here's the thing. I'm feeling pretty confident. He bailed. I'm chasing. We were on that launch pad. But rather than chasing that player, I end up spotting another player right here, focusing a build, and he has no idea I'm here. So rather than me landing in the open, I spot a boulder. We're going to go land behind that boulder. Reload my snipe, and it turns out he was looking exactly at me. I didn't expect it. Well done to him, but caught me off guard. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna angle my camera so I've still got a line of sight on him, so if he peeks I can still go for a shot. But instead I'm gonna pop those heels, reload the snipe, and we are good to go at this point in time. Next zone has just made itself known to me as well, and at this point I say, you know what, my mats are not great. I need a refresh. So rather than playing passive, I'm going to take this fight, drop straight in, trust the shots, lands all 3 out of 3, and we're going to get that player out of the game. I see floppers there. In the end, I don't actually go for it because I hear that player shooting at me, and I think this could be an opportunity. Lands the snipe, goes for the finish, and that one is done. At this point, the best decision here would have been to stop, grab that flopper, eat it, and then move. But instead, I was too focused on shields and loot and getting some more limbs. At this point, I'm already at a double-digit game. I really want to win this one, and I just wanted to keep on going, keep that momentum. But what I should have done is stopped and assessed not just my weapons. As you can see, I'm reloading right now intentionally, but looked at my health, taken that flopper. Bad play on my part. It ends up working out for me, but in future games, I'm going to learn from that one. Here, I'm intentionally trying to block my side. Again, doing it pretty poorly. And I go purple snipe. That is an upgrade that I am all about. Thank you. Thank you. And now we are as stacked as we can get. And I see a player right there. He's moved into that building right in front of me. So I know he's there. I've also now checked how many players are left. And I also know it's a 1v1. So at this point, everything changes. Because I know that I've got max brick, almost max metal, plenty of wood to work with. And there's no other players except one in that building. So I don't need to look left, right, or behind me. I can just focus this one spot. And this is how I choose to do it. I'm going to start by taking height. But look at this problem. I start my ramp with one single ramp. And at that point, you'll see I'm going to start doing the floor wall ramp. So floor wall ramp, it means it's much stronger, but the opening piece is just a ramp. That's a bad play. And really, you want to start it stronger than that. Maybe even use a double if you need to. But he could have shot me down pretty easily. He didn't know that though, and we end up getting away with it. So nonetheless, we're going to crank here. I know he's in this building. And I know there's a bounty board down there. So he's literally down there. I'm going to hold height. I've got plenty of mats to work with, so I decided to just spam build a little bit just to hold this height and get that angle. There he is. Go for the tack. I was trying to go for a cheeky snipe. He boxed up though, so I was like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And now I'm just playing tags. Because I've got height and he doesn't, I can afford to do that. He doesn't put a roof on that, meaning at this point, I'm now underestimating this player, especially here. I could have flipped the ramp. So in this moment, I could have flipped the ramp, I could have finished this, and I could have won the game. But I chose in that point to do something silly. And I don't recommend this if you're going for a win. As a content creator, every now and then, you need to jump in and do something silly like that to try and just make it a little bit more entertaining. So I was in that headspace. I'm thinking, this guy seems pretty free. I've tagged him up already. He didn't rebuild when I broke his wall. I've now got him under my ramp. Like, this one is pretty much done. So instead, I decided to play around a little bit. That was my first mistake because I underestimated this player. I thought this one's already done. I was mistaken. He's got plenty of mats. And even though in this moment, he's not doing a whole lot, pretty soon he's about to start cranking and I'm going to get a little bit more nervous. So keep your eye on that one. But if you're going for a win, go for the win. Just close it out. It doesn't matter if it takes you throwing nades at someone else's build, if it takes you just sitting back in a bush. Like, do what you need to do to get that Viceroy on your screen. But learn from my mistakes on that one. But here, I'm holding high. I'm not going to drop into his box, so I know that would be silly. But watch how this one plays out. Throw a little bit of basketball. I let him run out. Here, I'm throwing love hearts in the air. Again, I'm just mucking around at this point. I'm already assuming I'm going to win the game. I even go for a little coin flip just for the fun of it. And now he starts ramping up. So I think, okay, all right, if he's going for height, then I'll just do it as well. And then all of a sudden I look and I go, oh, wow, he's actually holding height. Like, hold on. What have I done? I flip that and look, he's at height again. So I go, okay, this guy is just creative warrior. He's flying into the air. Now I'm basically in his box. So I got lucky there by landing my shot. So in that moment, what I just did is I landed my shot on him. I put a floor. I then edited the floor to drop myself down. And while falling, I went for another shot, which I did land. So at this point, I know I've got him cracked. And he's basically not really been able to touch me, but I know I've got him cracked. And therefore, once again, I start playing around. It's this unhelpful mode of going, all right, I'll get him weak and then I'll just, play with it a little bit rather than just closing out the fight. There's so many moments where I could have and should have closed out the fight, but I just decide not to. Bad play on my part once again. Here, I know he's in that. I just saw him. He doesn't know that I'm peeking through this. I'm waiting for him to peek on the right side so I can go for a right-hand peek, which will give me a head glitch advantage. But I don't. I see him with that and I go, this will be a fun clip. I go for it. I do land it. But here's the problem. Because I pulled out my glider early, because I was going to just chase him, he can now beam me out of the air. Now, I get pretty lucky here that he doesn't have better accuracy than that. But all of a sudden, I just want to show him, hey, you better not ramp up. And I just start spraying him a little bit. Again, my whole strategy here is just keep on popping heals and keep on holding height. As long as I'm holding height, I win the game. 88 blue. And all of a sudden I'm realizing this guy's got like unlimited shield. Like I have cracked his shield about 3 times already. And every time I hit him, he's got more shield. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I've still got enough mats to work with. I'm just going to grab some piece control here. I'm even going to take that one. I don't want him editing out on me. I don't want him doing anything. I want to control the situation. And therefore I need to control what builds are what. Right here, I'm waiting for him to make a move and he's not actually doing it. So I decide, let's just try and edit this, make a bad play, and I actually block my own line of sight with that. And that one was a risk. If he landed that, I was done. And here is my biggest mistake. I played the storm wrong. I did not look at where next zone was going. All I did was play with my food. I saw this player. I'm like, he's cracked. This is easy. No worries. And all of a sudden, I'm not looking. The mini map is showing me that zone is all the way over there. And I'm hanging back here with no white heals playing with this. And then I block myself and watch my green health. That HP right there. Watch what happens here. I get so lucky. 30 HP, one build is all it would have taken for him to block me, and I would have died to Storm, and it would have been the most embarrassing way to lose this game ever, especially considering how free this was. There was already multiple opportunities to win it, and I would have just thrown hard. But instead, I managed to get away, and this is, in the end, how it goes down. Blocks, builds, and done. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you can learn from both my mistakes and from the things that I did right. But that one was a game that I was definitely happy with, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you enjoyed this type of video, I've never done one of these before, like a kind of gameplay / commentary, trying to like break down and analyze some of the things that I did to help you be better at the game. If you enjoyed that, let me know in the comments down below. Like, favorite, share it, all that kind of stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. God bless you guys. God loves you guys, and so do I. And as always, my friends, K love you. Bye.